weekly update. One thing I learned this week is that challenges will come. They don't always come dressed up, like the big bad wolf or, something terrible or bad. Actually, it could just be the sweetest little kid, that you've ever seen coming to give you a gift. And what I mean by that is I did report last week that a student had a birthday last week, and she bought donuts for the teachers. Well, the next day there was a copycat. There was another student came with donuts for the teachers. She came up to me like, "Here, Miss Barnes, take two." And I really, I really had to check myself. I was like, no, I can't take two. I will take one. I mean, how could you say no? Like, not even just to donuts, but like, a student here, just smiling and waiting, with anticipation. So I took the donut, and once again, I had to recalculate my calories for the day. Just, not eat some things that I had planned to eat. But it worked out. The donut was good, but I just made an announcement to the entire class, to everybody. If you all don't come in here with toasted coconut donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, then I'm not gonna eat it. So I'm telling you now, everybody is warned. Okay, no, but seriously, that was a challenge for me because I don't know, I just felt vulnerable to donuts, and donuts is not even my thing. Like, I don't even know what it was, but they kept coming, and and I kept partaking. But like I said, I made adjustments. I even exercised last week a few times actually. So I am increasing my exercise routine. I am happy to report. But with that being said, I am so happy about this video that you're about to see today. This interview that I did with one of my friends, childhood friends, Mr. Philip Thaxton. So stay tuned for this video. Listen to his words. Be encouraged, be challenged. It's a really good interview. So stay tuned. All right, so today I am interviewing a good friend of mine from way back high school, middle school.
Homie,
Hey, Mr. Philip Thaxton, Sean Thaxton, Checker Thaxton,
checker.
all those things. So, all right, I gave some names, but can you tell us who you are?
I'm all of those names, but since we grown folk now, we're gonna call me Phil Thaxton, right? Those from the back in the day, Crossroads, Sean, Thax, all that other stuff. But for these purposes here, particularly on this particular subject, you can call me Phil Thaxton. Jeb Stewart, class of '89. I'm here with my homie and all that other stuff that come with it. And right now, I can say at should I give my age? I'm going to give my age. At over 50 years old, I'm living a life of comfort and convenience, which is why this topic is so important today, the things that we're going to discuss.
All right. Well, can you tell us about what inspired your weight loss journey?
Simply put, I was fat, morbidly obese, and my doctor said, if you're tired of coming to see me on non-physical visits, you're going to have to make a lifestyle change. It's just that simple. And we touched on it the other day. The things that I was doing, and I made the lifestyle change in 2015, January 2015. So that's probably in my late 40s. But for about 40 plus years, I never made any changes in terms of what I was putting in my body. And like a 40-year-old car, it broke down. If I can use that analogy, right? It broke down. And the mechanic said, hey, listen, bud, you're going to need a little bit of everything. You're going to need a new transmission, new engine, all of that stuff. But I can't do it unless you get the parts. And that's what the doc told me. I can't give you a magic pill to make all of your ailments go away. And that's when I decided, okay, I had to make the change, lifestyle change. I hate to say health change because it's a lifestyle change.
Okay. Do you care to share what some of your symptoms were?
Yeah. Okay. Well, in 2007, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. I had hypothyroidism, right? So they went in and they burned out my thyroid. So I take a pill for the rest of my life on that. Basically, thyroid stimulating hormones, because I don't have a thyroid anymore. I have to use a pill to produce that stuff. But essentially what was happening with the hyperthyroidism is that my metabolism wasn't, it was hyper fast. Mm-hmm. I was losing weight the wrong way without dieting, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sweating and I got all this other stuff going on. But that issue was addressed with the pill, but my diet didn't change. Okay. So what started to happen, and I'm going to fast forward now, 2015, sweating for no reason, right? You know, walking up the steps, short of breath. And I swam a lot, but I noticed like I could never get my breath right? Lower back pain, bloating all the time. And then the kicker was the pain in my shoulder. And, you know, one time I was taking my daughter down to a tournament, James Madison, she plays volleyball. I'm driving my truck. I feel a pain in my left shoulder, scared the you know what out of me. I thought I was having a heart attack or a stroke. Okay. I turn around, come back home, get checked out. So, well, you're not having a stroke or a heart attack, but your BP is like ridiculously high. It was like 150, 160 over like 90. Did a little blood work. Cholesterol was out the roof, damn near 200. A1C's out the chart. As I mentioned, the mechanic, it's sort of like they went into the engine and saw everything was messed up. Your coils are tore up. Everything was just messed up, right? I said, all right. They said, you may have acid reflux, GERD. I didn't know what that was. I thought acid reflux were the people, you know, like when they eat something they can't digest and they just vomit all the time. But that scared me, but it didn't scare me enough to make any changes. I come home from the appointment, had a bowl of soup. My stomach felt like an inferno. I didn't know what was going on. And again, I felt the sharp pains. The same night, I go back to the doctor again. He's like, look, man, I'm going to make an appointment for you to go see your primary care physician, and then you're going to get a full evaluation, everything. I'll send you the ear, nose, and throat. We're going to figure out what's going on, okay? Cancer runs in my family, diabetes runs in my family, so all of those things were a concern. I go see my doc, he checks me out. He says, everything is okay, but your blood work and stuff is just bad. You're morbidly obese. You're 272 pounds. Wow. For your frame, you're 6 feet. It would be okay if you were muscular, 272, but you're 272 with the wrong frame. Okay. Right. I go to ear, nose, and throat. They check me out and they see there's a lot of acid built up in my esophagus, which is an indication of the GERD and what was causing all of the ailments that I had. I go back to my doctor. Now, this is all within about a 60-hour time span, right? I go back to my doc and I say, okay, doc, what do I do? And he looked at me, he says, you're 272, your pressure's out the roof, your cholesterol is almost 200 points. There's nothing I can do for you. Just like that, right? He kept it real. Just like your mechanic would say, look, I can't fix your car, man. Right? He says, but what you can do, you got to lose belly fat, you got to drop weight, and I'm gonna give you a piece of paper. And on one side is everything you can eat, and on the other side is everything you can't eat. So I sat there, I looked at the other side of the sheet of what I couldn't eat, and it was every single thing that I've been eating for the past 40 some years, right? And I said, okay. So I left there and I was depressed. Let's just say the least, right? And when I got home, I had to make a change. I had to make a decision, right? Was I going to suffer in pain and just take a pill and pray that it would go away? Or would I take the steps that were necessary to turn this thing around? And, you know, one more thing I just want to touch on, you know, both you and I, you know, and a lot of us that came up, we played sports, right? And, you know, we knew exactly what to do to get in shape, right? Weights, gain weight, lose weight. We know how to do all of that stuff. We ate the right foods to get protein, amino acids. We took supplements. We did all of that stuff, right? But when it's time for us to get healthy for another reason, you know, to not play sports just for a lifestyle change, right? We don't have that same motivation to do it. That is what got me to go to the other side. Hey, if I could get up to 205 pounds, 5% body fat to play safety in college, why couldn't I do the same thing to drop weight and get in shape to run the other race of this thing called life? Right. So that was my motivation.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Very powerful. 272 pounds.
272. And I dropped once I decided to make the leap, so to speak. I call it the quantum leap. Once I decided to make the quantum leap, the first 3 weeks, I dropped about 15 pounds. Okay. And I don't know if we'll get into that, how it happened, but I dropped about 15 pounds. It scared me. I had never lost weight that fast, right? Just based on dieting and limited exercise alone. I go to the doctor. I say, hey, man, I just want to make sure I don't have any other like AIDS, HIV, anything like that, right? I say it because I'm looking at my body and it doesn't look right. See, before we were transforming our bodies, we're looking for the muscles and the pecs and all that other stuff. Nah, man, I started to look like a bag of bones, right? And I didn't like it. I felt good. I had a lot of energy. The metabolism had jump started. Everything's going great. I feel great, but it scared me.